Okay, so this is a review of the Voodoo Tactical Deluxe Professional Spec Ops Medical Field Pack, or Field Medical Pack. Here you can see the label. It's this one I ordered in Coyote tan from Amazon, and it is reasonably decent quality, but not meant to be used as or replace an assault pack. And we're going to get into more of the rationale for that a little bit later. What you get as a package is the backpack itself. It's basically got two major compartments plus a whole lot of small compartments, which you can see here. We've got basically a double set of flaps. So we open up the first flap here, and we have one set of internal compartments here, basically double set here. So each surface is going to have its own pockets. It's not really intended to have a lot of stuff put between the surfaces. Basically, everything would get mounted to a surface. I'm going to go into a little bit more of that in another video. Here we have the larger compartment with larger internal stuff here. Again, we open these up. We have a lot of mounting points, a lot of brackets and pockets and things for to get attached. Then inside of these, right here, are basically two removable packs. This one right here has some waterproof material in it. I would use this for IV type stuff, eye wash type stuff. Something that's liquid that you don't necessarily want rupturing and then getting into the rest of the pack if it did rupture. This one again is for just another internal package trauma kit, a removable quick deployment type of kit. This one would also carry some of your medical instruments that would be sensitive to crushing. It's a padded pouch. You might also carry pill bottles or something like that in there. Again, both sides of this are padded. Now in here, there is padding on this panel. There is no padding on this panel, but realize this is inside the middle of the pack. And of course, there's padding here, which is this kind of press molded, compound molded stuff. You get some backpack straps on here, which are reasonably decent, but not wonderful. It's one of the shortcomings of the pack. This is not a pack that you would wear as a primary pack long term in the field on your back with a heavy load in it. The straps are similar in design to some of the Black Hawk packs, some of the Voodoo Tactical packs, but they lack some of the other reinforcement that I might see, let's say, on a Spec Ops brand THE pack, or some of the packs that were discontinued from TAC Force that were roughly based on the Eagle and Black Hawk designs. They do give you a waist strap on this, which I would recommend just removing and leaving off or putting inside of the pack. A pack like this is not going to be deployed all that much with a waist strap. You're probably going to have other tactical gear around, and you're probably actually not going to wear this pack all that much. There's also some additional straps in here, and I'm not quite sure what to do with them. But they're apparently permanently attached. If somebody wants to explain that in the comment sections, feel free to. I'm not quite sure what I would do with these things. There's enough extra straps and buckles and stuff on this. I don't think you're violating any major protocols by just cutting some of them off, to be honest with you. And that's entirely valid. But the thing is, you start out with the additional packs and straps on there in order to exercise some of those options. The other thing I like is we've got these labeled windows. Again, we're not trying to be majorly stealthy tactical. We're just trying to have a good low profile color. And of course, you got some moly webbing on here for attaching some additional stuff if you want to. Now, in using a medical pack, you're generally going to be deploying something like this from a vehicle. It's not something you wear all day, every day on your back and hike into the wilderness with, although you would expect maybe to take something with you. If you're going to be hiking the pack and you're really not sticking around your vehicles, you're going a long distance, you're probably going to be using a smaller medical pack. You would be removing one of these kits, putting it inside of your other kit, or using something as smaller and lighter weight because you're also having to hike a bunch of other gear out with you. This pack right here is mainly what I would call a replacement for the platoon bag which would be the M17 medical pack used by the U.S. military. I'm not sure if they've been fully discontinued, but you'll still see them in a lot of surplus places. You'll still see them sold a lot of places. The M17 bag has an encumbrance about equal to the old small Alice packs, a little bit smaller than a medium Alice pack, about the size of the small to medium 3-day combat packs. Now, a lot of people will be wondering, well, great, why don't you just carry a bunch of your first aid gear inside of a combat pack? The reason for going for a specialized medical bag is all these extra organizing pockets and all that kind of stuff. This gives me the option of organizing a lot of medical supplies in an area where they're very, very fast to get at. I can lay this out on a surface or a table or in a vehicle, and I can get at all this stuff fairly quickly as it gets organized. Now, some of this, okay, like some zippered pouches, the reason for the mesh is mainly so you can see through it and quickly get to what's there, because in a medical care emergency situation, speed counts. You need to be able to get at that stuff very quickly. Time counts. The time to stabilize the patient, extremely important. The other thing is you may end up not using all the pouches. You may end up not putting some of the stuff in there, but you want to have those options to begin with. Now, some of this I wouldn't, a lot of this I wouldn't be cutting out, but I may be leaving a lot of this flat and not putting other medical items in there. I'd probably use a lot of these mesh pouches and that kind of stuff. But that's the reason you want something that opens up flat, something you can open up, you can flip through your pack like the pages of a book and very quickly see what you have, see what you need to get at, do a pre-operational inventory on your medical gear, which can become very important. It's something you would expect your team members to be able to do, and in addition to other duties. Something like this will be kept in a vehicle or at home in a survival retreat. Grab and go situation is that you have it all ready to go, you have your stuff in it, you throw it in, you're ready to go. If you need to deal with a medical situation, obviously very quickly, you want to be able to everybody knows what the medical pack is. Everybody knows where it is. Everybody should have a reasonably good idea how to deploy the basic elements of the medical pack. Now, does that mean everybody needs to know how to use an IV? Maybe, maybe not. And so we're going to all make adult decisions on who would be expected to get into the IV bag or the Surtru kit or not. Your question is on the wisdom of having IVs or sutures and stuff like that around when maybe you're not qualified to use them. Or maybe, like myself, you were once qualified to, I've been through first responder courses, I've been through combat lifesaver training, and a lot of it's expired, a lot of it I've forgotten. But by having the supplies around, I would expect to be able to tell a medic, hey, I've got extra supplies to make up for whatever you're using on my people. Here's the pack, it's all ready to go. And somebody who may not be immediately familiar with my equipment would be able to look through the pack and say, okay, yeah, I know what's here, what's not here. Because, again, we've got the book opening type stuff here. Now, as far as the quality construction on this, Voodoo Tactical stuff, I don't think it's as good as some of the other stuff I've seen. It's pretty good as medical bags go, but it's not super hardcore the way something that would cost more money would be. You'll see a lot of single row stitching in here. A lot of single row stitching. I'd say it's about 800 denier nylon. Reasonably decently heavy duty stuff. You've got X stitching in a lot of these things. You've got the little paracord stuff on the zippers, but you don't have like the paracord in addition to a metal pole. See how that goes. It's decent. It's not wonderful, but it's decent. The other thing is these buckles feel like maybe they're not first-rate buckles. Okay, they're not, maybe not first-rate. They're decent. They're going to work. They'll do what they're supposed to do, but I just something about it doesn't feel first-rate. You'll notice that here on the stress points we've got some double row stitching. There's no triple row stitching anywhere in here that I've seen. It's they'll do the double row, but they won't do the triple row. Like I mentioned earlier, the backpack straps are relatively thin in a few points, like right here, but they did put the additional stitching in. The mounting point here has a X stitching across here, but there isn't the additional reinforcement underneath. The waist strap, it has a waist strap, but it's not heavily reinforced. Good for vehicle deployment, decent for a part-time use medical bag. I think if I were going in harm's way on purpose on a regular basis, I would probably pony up to the heavier duty unit. For emergency survival use and occasional field deployment, yeah, it's a pretty good way to go. I think that it's also a good upgrade for military personnel who are looking at having to upgrade on their own dime from the M17 bags that might still be issued by National Guard Reserve units, although active duty units have mostly upgraded to the Molly medical pack system. But that's my review and initial assessment of the Voodoo Tactical Field Medical Pack.